modern marriage, we need freedom, too much freedom. But the moment you need freedom, ask yourself, what for?
Yes.
I think nowadays with more the modern marriages, what people want is they want to live the way they used to live when they were single, but
Exactly.
Exactly.
Ndio
You
maana
know,
nasema ni
but
mwerevu.
yet they are married.
Yes.
You see.
Yes.
Hi guys, I'm Janet Kaluki and welcome back to the Love Corner Show, where we talk about issues, love, and life by sharing our stories, experiences, and perspectives. Guys, today as you can see, I'm alone. My co-host is away, but I'm gonna keep this ship rolling. So today we are talking about marriage is for the foolish. Anyway, guys, before you start throwing stones, I know that is a very bold statement, and that's why we are here. We're not running away from it. We want to, dissect that and get to know, is it true, or are people in marriage, or people have different perspective about marriage. So yeah, don't throw stones. And today I have with me two gentlemen who are going to help me understand. One of them is married, and the other is someone who believes, or someone who once said that marriage is for the foolish. So, guys, on that note, I'm going to let him introduce himself. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. I'm John Muyumbo, and I think I'm the one that is already on the sailing ship. I'm married with one kid, 3-year-old, and marriage is fun. Marriage is good. Marriage is sacred.
Interesting.
Okay, wangwana, mimi ni Kajembe Kandarima, mzee wa mashamba. First of all, I want to thank Janet here and the team for asking me to come back on again. It seems there's a lot of things I have that people want to hear. I'd like to first correct it. The best term I can use is Kiswahili term.
Okay.
It's not that marriage is for the foolish. The actual term is best explained in Kiswahili. Ndoa ni chama cha wajinga. So ni chama ambacho ni cha wajinga. So I'll explain that as we go on.
As we continue. Guys, tell us in the comment section what your thought. Do you agree with Chair? Anyway, I have a question. Actually, I want to start with you, Chair. The first question goes to you. When you say that ndoa ni chama cha wajinga, what do you really mean by that? And then, where did that belief come from? Is it from your own experience, your own observation, or is it personal?
It's not personal because I've never been married. But it stems from observation and seeing how people have experienced the institution of marriage. And that conclusion for me came as a shock because I saw how sustainable or sustained marriages that have lasted for long require a little bit of ujinga. Hata si kidogo, mingi sana. Let me explain that concept. We all have brains and we would love to use our brains. There's something very important about agency. The fact that someone can make a decision for themselves and then go through that decision and then there are no consequences. So I'll give an example. John akifika kwa nyumba later than 11, you have to explain. Yet he's an adult who is in their 30s, hana shida zozote. Why are you explaining? If the wife is out late, akikaa paka 11, they have to explain. So it is giving up my agency and you giving up your agency to come and combine so that we live better together. So nikisema ni ujinga, simaanishi kwamba it is for foolish people. Si wajinga, iko na ujinga. In this sense, wherevu wangu as a single guy, there's no one who can tell me what to do. But in marriage, it doesn't work like that. So this is the conclusion I made. Mwerevu na mwerevu wakioana watagongana all the time. That marriage cannot last. Mwerevu na mjinga wakipatana, mmoja ataumia. Mjinga na mjinga wakipatana, they will survive. Because the ability to compromise and make decisions together, they have left their individuality to form one individual in the name of a married couple. So their decisions have to be one. It has to be a united front. So nikisema ni chama cha ujinga, it means some of the decisions you can see, you're like, why am I explaining myself? I'm a grown man.
But you need to be
Hapo ni
accountable.
werevu sasa. Huo ni werevu.
All right, let's
Huo ni
hear from the
werevu.
married man. What comes
Okay.
into your mind when you
Thank
hear
you.
someone says,
Thank you so much
you know,
for
throwing that statement? Yes,
thank you so
yes.
much for introducing such a topic. Huh?
Yeah.
And I want to confirm to you, Kademe, today that marriage is a beautiful thing. And it's a sacred union that God himself created. And at any point, any given point, as human being, we cannot think or to say that ni chama cha wajinga, because married people, when they stay together, the Bible says that the two becomes one.
Preach.
When you get married, the two of you become one. Now that you become one, it means that there must be a coordination. Like you become one body, and there must be coordination. Coordination in such a way that you see, it's your brain to coordinate some activity so that you can work on them.
Okay.
You think of something, doing something, then like let me say that I want to stretch my hand. It has first to come from my brain, then I do it. So there must be that let me say coordination. So in marriage, you'll have problems the moment that you start doing things on your own way. And sometimes it's not about explaining where you're coming from or where you are going, or it's just like communicating to each other. You just tell your partner that I'll be out to do A, B, C, D, and I'll come back late, so that you make them worry less. Because the moment you don't communicate, somebody might be worried that we have insecurity issues out there. So maybe somebody might be feeling like, okay, has something bad happened to my partner?
Yeah.
So they are there at home, but they're not at peace. And the moment that you return home, some say, okay, it's nice that you're home. And some people say that, oh, you told me that you'll be out late, but you didn't tell me that it will be this late, because maybe you've put that person to stay awake. And maybe she would be somewhere, maybe anapumzika. No, we are all working in our generation. We'll meet a husband and wife both working. So ukieka mwenzako till late na anakusubiria ukuje, maybe kuna vitu vitu kama
Kule
hizo.
dinner pamoja, you
Allow me to rebut on
What?
that. I must state my bias, because my bias is not biblical.
Okay.
Biblical marriages are like traditional marriages, where there is a structure that is being followed. But modern day marriages are not the marriages utaenda kujieleza, utaambia bibi yako akwambie I want to go out with my girls, umwambie no. There's some level of agency. Then that is why I use the word agency.
Okay.
Individuality in a marriage has become key. Initially was the way you explain, that's a traditional marriage. Mwanamke akiambiwa na mwanaume wake don't do this, he won't do it. So when I say ni chama cha wajinga, you've explained it quite well actually. You're not explaining yourself, you're communicating.
Yeah.
Sure.
Na huo ndo kitu unaita ujinga. Because I'm a grown man, I can take care of myself. Why do I need to share this? You've explained the point of worry. So ule ujinga, sisemi ni ujinga wa kwamba just that one aspect. I'm saying you will need to continuously follow up and communicate. The only way that is sustainable, especially imagine a scenario where mume na mke wamekosana. So the guy goes out. Does he still communicate? Inataka a level of ujinga, ndo na hasira yako ujishukishe umwambie mimi nimekasirikia lakini ninatoka and I'll come back at this time. You don't want to do that. And mostly when you have those very strong emotions, hutaki kusema, but you have to so that they don't worry and make the issue a bigger issue. Ndo hiyo ndo kitu naita ujinga. It needs a level of kujiondoa. Okay? Because most people think of themselves.
Okay, me, what I think, maybe, to add on whatever he's saying, partly I can agree with him, but not fully, simply because kuna wakati mnaweza kuwa mmekosana with your partner, you're having issues, but lazima tu kuna kitu fulani kitaweka pamoja. Sasa mtu mmoja lazima ajishushe in that marriage for it to work. For example, kuna issue yenye amesema like anaongelea kuhusu modern marriages. But as for me, it's not all about modern marriages, but the genesis or the originality of marriage.
Yes.
Marriage was meant to be sacred. And marriage, it was meant that these two people should come. You leave your father's house, she leaves her father's house, so that you can come together and decide things together.
Yes.
So when you decide things together, whether modernized or religious or what, still you are expected to communicate effectively. And when I say effective communication, I mean that you need to get a feedback for whatever you say. Like, I'll come home late. Or it's okay. Or unaulizwa kama utakuja kama saa ngapi. So
and you need to answer
you
that
need to answer
question.
for the communication to be fully or to be effective. Unaona? So tukipeleka katika modern marriage, we need freedom, too much freedom. But the moment you need freedom, ask yourself, what for? The moment you go into marriage and you still wish to cling on the freedom, like the one that you used to enjoy when you are single, it means that you are not yet ready for that marriage.
For that marriage.
Yes.
I think nowadays with more the modern marriages, what people want is they want to live the way they used to live when they were single, but
Exactly.
Exactly.
Ndio
You
maana
know,
nasema ni
but
mwerevu.
yet they are married.
Yes.
You see.
Yes. Huo ni werevu.
Okay, let's
Ujinga
change.
means unaacha hiyo unaingia kwa.
Okay, let's
Yes.
get a bit personal.
Okay.
All right. Growing up, would you say that you saw like marriages around you that really inspired you to either want to get married or to just you're like, if this is what marriage looks like, I don't think it's for me.
I think as you've just said that we need to get at least personal. My personal perspective is that there are a lot of things that makes somebody wants to get into marriage.
No, I'm just asking, growing up, did you see like an example around you
Of course, there are so many examples
of good marriages?
of good marriages and at the same time broken ones.
So there's
So-
a mix of both.
There's a mix of both.
Okay.
So at some point you need to make a decision based on what will suit you best.
Okay.
Unaona?
Okay.
So you drop the ones that you think they are negative, or you don't just drop or you don't just do away with them, but actually what you do, you learn from them. The best thing is that you learn from different things, mistakes that other people make around you, so that it can strengthen you. Let me summarize it by saying that we need to always, in everything that we do, need to use a SWOT analysis.
Okay.
You
That is a
analyze.
smart, smart move. Okay. Okay.
Allow me to approach that question not in a societal term, but a human a basic instinct all people have. We really want survival. At the end of it, we want marriages for survival. We want to perpetuate our seeds into the next generation, raise up families, and that is the basic instinct all people have. From that instinct, society has a way of, making this topic seem a bit emotional and sweet, so that it's palatable and you can have a cake of it. Excuse me. Growing up, I've learned people have preached marriage or taught marriage as a necessity. But the reason behind marriage, most people don't talk about. It's about survival and children. It's about bringing up families and the next generation. But people don't really talk about that, and they focus more on the companionship and love and feelings. Lovey-dovey. Okay, I don't want to use this. Someone recently told me I'm very aggressive and arrogant, so I'm trying to be very, very cordial today. That basic instinct is what perpetuates marriage. But the way it is being brought in society is you have to get a companion. They'll use religion to bring about that thing. They'll use you need one person, you need several people. Now it's not really that important if you're married to one person or not, or if you're married or not. How are you perpetuating it? How can you survive? And one reason basically is we survive better as a group.
Together.
So, yes, we survive better as a group. So I'll look for a partner who I'm providing security for, and they can give me children to perpetuate my seed. And that is mostly a manly perspective. Women look for the alpha so that they have a strong offspring from that alpha, and such on and so on and so forth. You see it, nowadays you see it a lot in animals, but human beings, because we are at a higher capacity of thinking, we're able to evaluate all these things and pick which side benefits us all. So if you're going the biblical way, yes, that makes sense. If you're going this other side, it makes sense. But at the core of it is just survival.
So do you think that nowadays people are marrying for the right reason or the wrong reasons? Or just for survival?
In
you
my
know?
experience,
Mm.
in my experience, I think nowadays people are marrying out of necessity or out of selfish desire.
Or maybe
It's
you
not
can
about family even.
maybe you can say out of pressure.
You as
Pleasure
a
and
married
pressure.
man, tell us.
It's pleasure and
Because
pressure.
why am I saying this? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Why am I saying this? Because you'll find some families, a lady reaching at certain age, you see, like the parents will be like pushing, look, you are ready for marriage, like get married and get kids, go to your own house, like this. We don't have to share. We don't have a shared space anymore with you. You're already grown up. We already taken you to good school, best schools. You have job. Maybe you need to go out there, like and do and act like your mates. Unaona sasa? So ikikuja kama competition, you'll find sasa watu wengine either they rebel na wengine wanaamua kuenda kwa sababu amesukumwa kwa ule msukuma nyumbani. And sometimes maybe it's out of the sherehe. You know, some people and youths today are like party after party. Na ile party after party umeenda umelala mahali. Some marriages hazikuanza na will you marry me? I know you can agree. You
Yes.
can agree with me.
Yeah.
Wengine
You
wanaambiwa
went for sleepover.
enda mahali ulilala jana, ama mwenye alikupea ball
Enda
wacha
huko.
akuchukue uende huko.
Yes.
So you'll find marriages itakuwa na utofauti kwa sababu kuna yule ambao alianza na will you marry me, uli analyze what you want, you decided together this is what we want, na kuna yule mwenye ulisukumiwa. So ukiwa kwa ile nyumba yako unaonekana kama mzigo
Kuna yule uliiba.
na kuna yule mwenye uliiba sasa. Kuna yule mwenye uliiba na kuna yule mwenye alikuwa anakuangalia tu anasema yule ni tupate tu mbegu na yeye then
Yes.
kuna
That's
vitu
it.
kama hizo sasa. Tukileta katika modern way, modern perspective ndio inaleta hizo vitu zote. Na kuna yule mwenye ulienda clubbing na ukaamua tu imekuzidi, ukatoka na yeye na akamkia kwa nyumba.
Na mkaendelea na maisha.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh my
and
goodness.
if you'll allow me, I can add something there.
Yeah.
This is mostly about intersexual relationships, and you can
Yeah.
call it marriage or these relationships we now have, because most people are not opting for marriage.
Sure.
They right now there's this trend. I think it started in the West, but it's slowly creeping in. We are opting for long-term intimate relationships, rather than the legalized contract. Now, the contract way is more, logical. But when you go the faith kind of, when you base it on faith, then marriage is not a legal contract, it's a covenant.
Yeah.
So that way it becomes more serious. And intersexual relationships right now, because the biblical aspect doesn't count in dating. There's nothing like dating in the Bible. There's something called courtship, but courtship isn't dating.
Yeah.
So we know what that means right now. But in the Bible, it is more geared towards your relationship with God. So marriage is a mirror of how God loves us. So if you can do that in marriage, you can perpetuate that with God. Because the most important thing, biblically or spiritually, is not my relationship with my wife. It is not my relationship with myself. It is me and God. And God brings marriage as a mirror of his relationship towards us. That is why Paul writes and he says, when you're in God, you're no longer, there's no man, no woman, no old, no young, no male, no female. We are all equal before God. So before God, there's nothing like that. It is an example of how we should be towards him.
And I'd like to appreciate my friend Kajembe for
Preach, preacher.
for at least bringing accepting the godly part of marriage.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, now we are
Sure,
sailing
because-
on the same
Sure,
ship,
because
right?
he's now changing the tune from modernized marriage to the biblical marriage. And
Not
he's,
really.
he's even explaining is explaining much better than maybe the terms that I've used earlier on. And and you see
Makes
that in courtship, he mentioned courtship. In courtship, you find that you are given time and opportunity to know each other. To know each other, like when you're angry as Janet, what do you do? As a lady, and as a man, what should I do? Like you need to know each other vizuri, rather than what we have today. Today we love many youths, many of us we love through loins. Unaona msee, unaona figure iko fiti, unaona six packs,
Yeah.
unaona this is my man, unaona looks, unasema I can go for the looks, but it's wrong. Because sababu gani? You'll start enjoying fruits of marriage
Before marriage.
even marriage. No.
God.
And then this gives you the comfortability. You now becomes so comfortable that if I can get these things easily, why marriage? No.
It doesn't. Yeah. Why are you marrying? then?
Why are we even married? It's like you have a birthday on Monday, and today brings you a box of gift. You open it, you peep. It was meant to be a surprise, but you've peeped inside. You've seen what is there. You've seen the content. So on Monday, the time that is meant for you to be surprised, you're not even surprised. And
Yeah, you
I want to
already
make
know.
I want to make
Yeah.
a very simple observation that kitambo, when you were growing, I think you'll agree with me that when you were growing, bibi harusi alikuwa ikifika pale anapeano analia manze, machozi. But nowadays ninjas wao wanaendanga tu.
Kulia ni kwa sababu unatoka kwenu unaenda mahali ujui.
But I think ile kulia kuna ile jando unafundishwa kuhusu marriage, kuna vile utaenda ufanye hivi na hivi na
So
hivi.
unafikiria the burdens that awaits you.
unafikiria.
But you see, I agree with him to the extent of that is what marriage should be. You know, what should be and what is actually happening are two different things.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially
So
in
what
this
I'm
world.
talking about is, when I'm talking about marriage, I do not want to lean, or intersexual relationships for that matter, I do not want to lean more on my spiritual side. Why? Because if I'm to lean on my spiritual side, I know exactly what I need to do. But the modern world as it is right now, the reality is no one is following that. So when I say that, and it is sad, yes, it is sad, but can we deal with that as it is?
Yeah.
And probably save someone heartache rather than rely on, because the way I believe is not necessarily how someone else believes. So while I'm a disciple of Jesus and I want to follow in his teachings, I will agree. My North Star is the Bible and it is God. But in reality is I have friends, I have people around me, the society around me keeps promoting the hookup culture. So the hookup culture and all these other issues are threatening the institution of marriage. So how do I deal with that without necessarily talking about my faith? That is where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And I was really trying to avoid talking about my faith, but I love the way Muyumba's brought it out.
You had to.
Yes, I had to. I believe what he's saying. It's just that right now, the traditional aspect of marriage is long gone.
Yeah.
And fighting to maintain it is a personal choice. So if it's not a personal choice, then how do we deal with it as a society together? So I'd say, yes, these are the challenges. And trying to hide that people are not hooking up is a big mess. And I see that this a lot in churches.
It's really happening.
No,
Even in
no one
churches.
is not hooking up, especially in churches. No one is not hooking up. Married people are hooking up. And who are they hooking up with? Unmarried girls. Right now imefika trend, wanaume ndo wanatafuta mashangazi. So it's the reality of what we live in. And trying to brush it off as any person who is not ready for marriage should not get there. People are getting married for the wrong reasons, with the wrong foundation. And they are ending up divorced. Right now the divorce rate is at an alarming high rate, especially in Kenya. It is a badge of honor for a lady to be a single mom right now.
Sure.
So what are we telling? What is the society teaching our young people?
But is it a badge of honor? I don't think so. As a woman,
It is.
No. I don't think it's a badge of honor. I beg to disagree here.
Okay.
And tetea my
Yes.
girls. And tetea my girls.
Okay.
The thing is, you might get. I don't think there's anyone, especially a woman, who gets in marriage with a mind of like divorcing. You get in the marriage and then you realize, oh, the man is not, because sometimes men fake like who they are, and then when you get to marry them, you realize, oh, who is this?
You
Yeah,
dated
maybe.
this person and then
Maybe
Divorced.
we can call it over expectations.
It's not over expectations.
You see?
Someone changes. For example, maybe when you started off dating them, they didn't have much in terms of like money and stuff like those, and in the marriage they get, they get successful and they change.
We've
They
had
start
cases.
realizing maybe you're not their type now.
and that's okay.
But they married you.
those are
And now you
dynamics.
see,
But you have
for
to
that-
change to that level also.
No.
Because if I have money now, I
if
need a
he's
wife
not
also.
now communicating, he's not communicating like there's a problem here, babe. Can you do this and this? What he does, he goes out there and starts maybe flirting
think
and
I've
with
earlier on,
other women. So
I've
what do you
stated-
do as a woman?
I've just stated
just-
the issue of effective communication. And once most of the marriages are dying or the divorcing is alarming because of lack of communication. And when I say lack of communication, it's not like, babe utafanya. No, let the babe communicate back. Kwamba ameagree ama haja agree. So the thing that tunakuwa nayo, the problem ni kwamba tunaenda pale nje, tukienda salon. In fact, mimi wanasemanga the National Assembly is somewhere that people fear National Assembly. Maybe when we refer to the issue of former deputy president, the impeachment, but the real impeachment happens in salons. You go there, you get friends. Maybe somebody had a very bad experience in the marriage, so they want to make you believe that marriage is evil or marriage is bad, or maybe you cannot give a second chance to your partner. No, there are mistakes which do happen in marriages. So the moment you come from that place in your umeenda kuchukua advice, you come with a lot of assumptions,
And that affects women more.
and that is contrary, different from the what the marriage talks about, the teachings. Like, you need to forgive, you need to be there, you need to care, you need to be kind. You see, whatever it was mentioned in the Bible about marriage.
But you also
about
need
love.
to forgive someone with sorry, and not sorry. Today you're sorry, tomorrow you keep on doing the same thing.
You see,
You know,
it depends.
you cheat on your wife once, you come
Why-
and
why am I
apologize.
cheating?
No, I'm just saying, there are men who cheat out here.
Sure.
You cheat on your wife once, you come and apologize. She gives you a second chance, and a third one, a fifth one. Man, you keep
then
on.
there are
that
two
is
people I'll blame
too
in that
much
scenario. The
disrespect
first
there.
person I'll blame is the man. Because as men, we have a duty and a responsibility to tame our desires. And I'll use this as an example. All men are polygamous by nature.
So true.
We choose to be monogamous. And ladies should feel lucky when a guy is being monogamous with you.
It's not
Feel
why
very
are you
lucky.
feeling lucky? You are choosing.
I've said
So-
all men are polygamous by nature.
But it's your choice.
This is a sacrifice you are making, because you see, we are talking about love, we're talking about marriage, but we are not talking about the sacrifice that comes with it.
Even
It's
as
a
women, we are
package.
sacrificing
You
to
see?
be in that marriage.
It's a package, and whatever sacrifice you are making, and it doesn't cost you pain, it doesn't cause you pain, then that's not enough. You need to do something more. And if you see men or women cheating out there, it's because there's something that is lacking in their marriage,
I
in
don't,
their
I don't think
relationship,
it's
yeah.
the
in their
marriage.
relationship. And I think when we go to the modern world, there are ladies who have mastered the art of communicating. You have the urge, same as the man have urge. So the man keeps on asking maybe for maybe the pleasure and everything.
Wait.
And
Are you talking about sex?
I'm talking about marriage as a package.
So you're being
What
asked
urge?
The urge to you see, like the urge to be together, to be married. You see,
to have
marriage.
sex, maybe.
Yeah, marriage. You see,
The urge to have sex.
the urge to have sex is
Okay.
there.
But now you're denied by the wife.
Yeah, you see, like a man will not tell you that I'm fed up. The man will ask today. You give excuses. Tomorrow he'll ask.
Now he goes
The
outside.
day after he'll ask, and then he'll keep quiet.
Okay.
The moment he keeps quiet, maybe he's not even doing something out there, anything maybe, but he'll start assuming that he's doing something out there.
Okay.
Don't conclude that a man is cheating maybe because he stopped asking.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what can I do to make him that comfortable? Because men, we are like kids. Most of people do say that men are like kids in marriage.
You're
Because
trainable.
why? You train your man. And in today's generation, it's not a sin for a lady to ask a man. Like today, you may not even say, but you may show signs that today I think I need your service. But if you keep on like you are assuming or ignoring, when you keep assuming, the man thinks that you're ignoring that person, and you give him like you are shutting the doors for him to feel comfortable around you. So he'll keep quiet. And out there's a policy which have destroyed a lot of things. My dress, my choice,
My body, my choice.
such things.
Okay.
You see some ladies out there now in this generation, they don't wait for a man to go for them.
They'll go
but they'll
for
come for that man, and that man have been suffering maybe.
at home.
Okay,
But
kuna kitu
it's
nimekaa ikinichemka
Hata
because I've not
wewe
finished
as a
that
man,
thought.
no, let me even finish here. You as a man, you have to have your own self-discipline. Not every woman that comes
My
Exactly.
point.
for you.
A man
Exactly.
should master their desires.
Yeah,
You cannot
you
be a
have
slave
your-
to desires. Then number two,
Exactly.
You
the
be
other person,
self-disciplined.
remember that scenario we were talking about. I'd blame the woman because marriage is a raw deal for many men.
Sure.
Because last episode I spoke this and I'll repeat it again.
What did you
The
say?
custodian of sex is a woman. So if a man stops providing, the government steps in and forces the man to continue providing. Okay?
So true.
But if a woman withholds sex, the man cannot go to the same government and say, this lady is withholding conjugal rights. What
denying-
do
But
I
you
do?
are able to divorce her
No,
because of that.
that's not the point. The point is, if I divorce her, I still have to pay her.
Obligation.
I still have to meet my obligation to her, even though she's not meeting her obligation to me.
If you have
So
kids, now you
the
have
way, and I'd love to
pay
bring
for
this out
child
in the open.
maintenance.
Sure.
Most married people I've seen, women know how to betadize men. Like they get an alpha, then they turn him into a beta, and it does something through it's I don't know if you've heard of this experiment. A guy was giving food to a dog, but before he gives food, he rings a bell. Then he rings that bell, the dog comes and eats. So it got to a point, every time this guy rings a bell, the dog starts to salivate.
You know
So
that there's food coming.
there's not necessarily food, but because they have associated the bell
bell
to
with
food,
food. Yeah,
so
okay.
they start to salivate. And the way they do it is a man getting into marriage is slowly learning how this woman wants to be treated. And remember, I told you, men want to impress so that they are admired back. And if I can't impress you, you won't give me sex. As men, we are polygamous, and we have this is a problem we have. We're always geared up for sex. It's called, I like how Jacob Elliott calls it. He calls it the reproductive problem. And he says, men, we have a reproductive problem. We're always ready on the go. So the things we do for us, most of the time, we just want sex in return. And if a lady withholds the sex, okay, until I do something, okay, until I behave this, until I wash the dishes, until I treat her, give her attention, buy her stuff, you're teaching me that if I do these things, I will get what I want in return. And it is something that frustrates men. Over time, I'll be able to see the manipulation. And once I see that, I get tired with you. So I will go for a place where I can genuinely get admired, where I feel like my role as a man is being seen.
So I think Kajembe is just trying to tell us that sex brings about comfort. Sex brings about acceptance. A man feels like he's accepted. And the moment you shun them away, they feel like, no, there must be something wrong. And in the biblical perspective of the marriage is that it is meant that women are meant to be submissive in the marriages, as the church say, the Bible says that enyi wanawake wapendeni
Wanaume
enyi wake
wapendeni.
watiini waume zenu, na nyinyi wanaume wapendeni. So it's our duty to love you, ladies, and it's your duty to do what? To be submissive. And you feel like nowadays the submission part of it is tied on small benefits. That if I do this to you, you become submissive. Like the day that I'm coming home with some gifts, token of gifts, you will be there to hug and kiss and cuddle. The day that I come back home beaten by the world, have a lot of stresses, daily has jaivana, then you behave like...
Think,
That is
oh.
problematic. You're making the man the problem, not the problem
The
itself.
problem. But I think as women, we can only submit to a man worthy of that submission.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes,
before
yes, I
you
agree.
throw stones at me, let me ask Muyumbu,
Yes, please.
is marriage as happy as social media make it seem? Hebu
think-
tuambie, tell us, kwa ground vitu zikoaje?
Mwadhani. Okay. I think that is mind-boggling question because today we're having a lot of content creators in marriage. They're not
Who are
telling.
married.
Yeah, we are not seeing the real pictures. We're not seeing the real pictures because marriage itself is not just it's just like a rose, and every rose has its own thorns. However beautiful rose may look, but they have always thorns. So you need to be extra careful. So in marriages, we are being told kwa shida na raha. So if you see any marriage that is posting raha, 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 know that they are pretenders. Because marriage huwa inaanzaje? Nimeanza kuambia Kajembe tuko hapa kwamba marriage inaanzanga kwamba before you even ask a question, malambo love bado ni moto, ndoa ni changa, utasikia kila mtu amesema yes even without you asking questions. Na itafika mahali like you ask a question, wanaangaliana kwanza, kuna ile coordination, kuna kitu kana lack. Na unafika mahali katika marriage, yani imebamba, you expect vitu hapa kule, kuna wakati naanza kuvutana kidogo. Mnaweza vutana mfike mahali paka like acha tuachane, kwani nini? Si hata hapa mimi niko na kwetu. Unajua sometimes as a man, wanaume tuko na ile kasumba kwamba mwanaume haezi lia. Mwanaume hali. Na kuna vitu zinatokeanga kwa ndoa na unajishika kichwa. Unaona, let me not say this because it might sound bad. Wanaume wengi katika marriage, wanaume wengi wanaondoka mapema. Wanaaga mapema, unapata mabibi wanabaki. Simply because huyu mwanaume akona kuna a lot of pressure pale. Halafu yeye kulingana na societal mentality ni kwamba yeye hafai kulalamika, hafai kulia. You need to be there for your marriage, whether it's working or not.
Okay.
Unaona, hiyo imekuwa ni kasumba kwa muda mrefu kwamba mwanaume you need to be there. Jikaze kisabuni, jikaze kiume.
Yes, that is a man. That is what you should do. But and it shouldn't be society telling you that.
Even when the marriage is not working.
When the marriage is not working, there are a lot of things that need to be done there.
Who is the leader of that marriage?
Of course, ni mwanaume.
The buck stops with who?
Now
it stops with the man, right?
Now I'm coming back to whatever you raised earlier. Modernized marriage. You see, you brought this topic like we need to changanya the aspects, ndio. Now nimekupatia the biblical part of it kwamba watiini, wapendeni. But tukikuja huku kwingine unapata hakuna hiyo. Na huyu unapata in most cases issues za GBV zikikuwa raised, hautaenda kwa GBV desk upate mwanaume aliandikisha amegongwa na bibi. Na maybe kwa nyumba
anagongwa.
Kajembe anagongwa yeye, lakini bibi let me use that example. Lakini bibi yeye anapiga kelele.
The moment is not married, guys.
Is not is not married, but
mbona unanitangaza?
Maybe you got a potential.
Wewe tulia, siangalii, sitafuti. Okay, maybe I'm taken, ujui.
This is Kajembe 1. I'm talking of the Kajembe 2 mwenye ako pale nje. Unaona? I'm talking of Muyumbo hapa. Unapigwa kwa nyumba lakini bibi ana scream. Na watu wakitoka nje wakimanage kuvunja ile mlango, akikuja watakuja wataniadhibu mimi mwanaume simply because sitoi sauti. Yule anayenigonga ndiye anatoa sauti. Sasa ndio maana nikaileta katika societal. Okay. Mtu ufika mahali ukachoka, ufika mahali ukasikia umeumia, but what do? Mimi acha niseme tu ukweli, wakati mwingine unafika unaona this is too much on me, but una pause, unajiuliza kwanza. Kuna swali ameuliza, unajiuliza why did I start this? Nilianza nikiwa na malengo gani? Nikuje ni quit ama niendelee? And always a man is perceived to be a protector, a provider, and so whatever iki happen, hata chochote kitokea, bado still ni wewe to protect ile marriage.
Okay. I agree with him up to the level of a man should take responsibility. The fact that a man shouldn't complain, yes, he shouldn't complain. Why? Because a man is the backbone is the head of that marriage. So the buck stops with me. I should build the capacity to be able to withstand the storms of marriage. And that is why I say any man who makes a decision based on emotions is a weak man. When you're going into marriage and you're going thinking with your small head and your feelings and your heart, you're an idiot. Because you will end up getting hurt.
Sure.
You will end up getting in so much pain that you cannot withstand. And you cannot blame society because it tells you to man up. It is up to you to build that capacity. It is a manly thing when you can go through problems and not break. It is not a female thing. It is a man, and that is our duty as men. So saying that I should become more in tune with my feelings. No, a man should not trust their feelings. They can use their feelings. They can know they are there. They can understand them. But should they trust them? No. So when you're sad, And when you're at a place you're almost breaking, build the capacity. Be a stoic man. Use stoicism. Listen to yourself. Build the capacity inside, because the world will not be friendly to you. And it is high time we start telling men the real thing. The world cannot be friendly to a man. Build the capacity within yourself. Even your wife. Use the Bible, for example. When Job was going through all these problems, and he decided, I'm going to remain faithful to God, what did the wife do? His own wife, his own friends. He had to remain as an individual, because that is the manly thing to do. Now, am I saying it is good? No. Am I saying you should? Am I saying there's another way? I don't know. But that is the way that is there. So shape up or sheep out. If you can't be a man, look, then when you're going into intersexual relationships, the foundation for a man is very important. Why are you looking to get married? Why do you want a life partner in a single person? If you think this is the right person and you need those challenges, you need the qualities she has, picture the future and understand that it will not always be like that. So can you trust that I have the capacity to handle this lady when she's being a B word?
Okay, we don't use the B word here. But anyways.
I didn't use it.
Anyway, I know.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a question for Muyumbu.
Yes, please.
This is about in marriage. As a
Yes.
man who has been in marriage for how long?
Almost 6 months. 6 years.
6 months.
Bro.
6
You
years.
almost said 6.
Almost 6 years.
Umejaribu,
Almost
wengine sasa
From
wangekuwa wameacha.
2021.
Okay.
Wengine sasa wangekuwa wameacha.
Oh my God.
So nimekwambia kuna mahali you stop, you think, and you get the course of direction, you move on.
Ah, good.
Yeah, marriage, I think it's a commitment. You
Sure.
need
It's a
to
long-term.
always like a long-term commitment that you have to keep on,
Sure.
renewing and, committing to it,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So my question was, is there like a lot of pressure that you married men go through? And that's why like someone like Chair, you're not, inspiring them.
No,
You're
I'm
not
inspired.
inspiring
Natafuta
them.
mjinga level yangu.
Marriage doesn't seem to be appealing to them.
Yeah, with marriage, I think today so many youths shun away from marriage because simply marriage is being monetized. It's now a business package. It's not what people used to think it is. Because today you'll find like a parent unaenda kutafuta hand in marriage kwa mtoto wake, then anakuambia like mzazi anasema nilimsomesha naanza kutolea receipts like they are selling a product to you. And you on your side na wewe umetoka mahali maybe pia umesoma na like you just want this marriage to umependa ule mtu mmependana, you need to work. So siku hizi kitu ambayo inasumbuanga watu mostly kama kuna mali tulienda kupeleka rafiki yangu anataka bibi. Wakati tunapeleka rafiki yangu kutaka bibi tulikuwa kuna a lot of challenges. Kwa sababu gani? It was a business. Unapata kumeletwa watu professional dowry
Negotiators. Oh my God.
So the moment these people come into the picture, they are not considering the love that the two people share. They're not even considering that there'll be a bond, the family ties from both ends. So these people are coming there to do businesses so that when the quote is high, their cut is also high. And that's the first thing that na pressurize mwanaume.
That's a red flag. Ondoka.
Shaona?
Ondoka.
Yes.
I'd
Na
advise that
wakati
man, wachana na huyo mwanamke, go
Enda
away,
zako.
don't come back.
kipenda choro ni dawa pia.
Wachana na hiyo. You are trusting your emotions again. Unagongwa kwa mahali na unataka kubaki.
Unajua like kuna wakati huwa ina happen hivyo na happen the family involved. Na wakati mwingine hata ule bibi mwenye unafikiria uondoke umwache, yule mwenye anaweza come into the picture na akasema like no, whatever you're doing is like extortion.
Unaweza kukutetea kama
anaweza
mwanaume.
kukutetea. Na kisha kutetea it means that huyu mtu like anakuja katika ile marriage with open hands, open heart, like amekukubali jinsi ulivyo, let us grow together.
You don't consider the family will bother you intensely after umeoa huyo mwanamke against their wishes.
Families are there, but remember in most churches wakati marriage inafanyika wazazi wanaambiwa stay out of the marriage. The marriage is meant for the two. Now ile pressure inakujanga baadaye, but it's not supposed to be there. The marriage is for two. Ninyi wawili mlipendana na huko mkakuja kuambia wazazi sisi tumependana. Unaona? Sasa wazazi must at least respect that fact. Na wata respect vipi? As a man, ni mimi ni block watu wa kwetu kuingililia marriage yangu na kupeana directives. As a lady, pia na yeye upande wake a restrict watu wake. Kumaanisha not everything that is happening between you two utakuwa unapeleka ndo wapate ile. The moment unatoa kila kitu nje, they'll be coming, acha families. Friends watakuja watakuamulia kwamba brother, leo unalala chini, mimi nalala na beshte yangu kwa bed ama bedroom. Unaona? But the moment you make it marriage ni ya watu wawili na munaenda vile munaendana, hakuna kitu kingine kitatoka outside that. Like marafiki wakuja kukudisaidia. Wanakudisaidia aje ta?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no comment on that.
One last question before we wrap it up. What would be your advice to anyone who is like, maybe who wants to get married and who thinks that when you get married, maybe you limit your freedom and personal growth?
Okay, I think on that particular point, I'd like to urge the viewers, the viewers or anybody who wish to enter into the holy matrimony, to know that kuingia kwa ndoa si tunaenda kurehas. We don't do rehearsal. Kwa sababu for those who believe in ile Christianity ama Bible, naambiwa kwamba whoever divorces the wife ama the husband is committing adultery. So the moment ukiingia na udhani ni rahisi, unasema tu nitamwacha na uja calculate vizuri, itakuwa it's up to you. Whatever she does out there or whatever he does after mmeachana, it's up to you. Inakuhusu pia wewe. But what you do, just take a marriage like an investment, lifetime investment that you want to make. Na ile investment unataka kumake, of course, huwa unafanya, you do your personal research, unaangalia hii kitu in case pale mbele kutatokea problem, utaikushon vipi, you getting that muscle as a man. Na hata mwanamke naye ndiye maana anapelekwa anaenda kusoma jando na the rest. So when you're coming to marriage life is sweet, and at the same time marriage life iko na challenges. Na kwa sababu iko na challenges, you need to brace yourself and be ready. And kama vile mwenzangu ametangulia kusema party ya mafala, mimi nitasema sasa kwamba ikibidi ukue fala, kubali kuwa fala to save that marriage for it to work.
Finally.
But in case utaamua sasa wewe na wewe unataka kuja na kichwa yako like mimi nataka ile freedom, then I think stay in your mother's house. The marriage thing is not for you.
Or if you're a man, you stay in your own house.
Yeah, if you're a man, endelea hiyo vitu umezoea yenye utaenda upate pale kule, upate one touch, endelea na hiyo. Lakini if you know that you want to get married, lazima tu at some point you bend low for marriage to work. La sivyo you will marry, divorce again,
Remarry again.
kitu kama hiyo. Na itakuwa ni kama ni joke. You cannot use somebody's heart as for nini, like ni kama rehearsal unafanya. Unaona? You cannot use somebody's feeling for fun. For example, niulize sasa Kajembe. Huyu mtu umemwoa, ako na watoto 2 3, unamwacha. Huyu mtu anaenda kuolewa tena kwa mtu. Ama unataka aende akafanye nini kule nje. Ushapata? So the moment sign for this is what I want, Biblia inatuambia ndio yako iwe ni ndio, na hapana yako iwe ni ni hapana. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you, Kajembe.
Oh, I give views on the same?
No, just
Okay.
What do you want to say?
Tasema hivi.
Your closing remarks.
Ukiona umeanza kutaka mwanamke kuoa, I'm speaking to the men and also to the women. Umeanza kuwa mjinga. So kubali umeanza kuwa mjinga. Usikana werevu wako. Tafuta mjinga mwenzako. Usiende kutafuta mwerevu. And set a foundation for long term. Do not think marriage is happiness and it is love. That is nonsense. So carefully consider who you're marrying and build your capacity to sustain the marriage. Because for ladies, for example, ukiolewa na mwanaume yoyote, that man wants to lead. Ana pesa, hana pesa. Utakuja umshinde pesa, atakuwa na pesa mingi kukuliko. that will always be your leader. And accepting that ndo mwanzo wa ujinga. That is what I call ujinga. Because sometimes we value ourselves too much, we remain in our selfish nature, and not realizing that we have to be, amesema, ikibidi kuwe fala. Now, marriage, in my observation, has a lot of hiyo fala. Iko na ujinga mingi sana. Because you have to be with someone who pissed you off, na anakupikia and you trust hajakuwekea sumu.
Wow.
You have to sleep with a man who you have pissed off and you're trusting he won't kill you in the night. Hiyo ni ujinga, si ujinga. So when I say that, I mean be very careful. Set the foundation from the word go. And my last bit of advice is to the men. Mimi natafuta mjinga sa level yangu. I'm not saying I'm not going into it, but I'm going to it sober.
Wow.
Very sober, because this is a life decision. And any person who makes that decision and then comes to a point of you want to divorce, the foundation was weak. So nitaambia wanaume wenzangu hivi, build your capacity to handle the temperaments of a woman. You see it in your mothers, you see it in your sisters, you see it with the women around you. Build your capacity to handle that. And a man should be able to bend but not break. Bend as far as you can. Now ukiona is about to break, fine, check out. But before you check out, make sure you've built the capacity. And if the foundation is right, and that is an internal thing, it's not an external thing. No one will ever tell you you're ready for marriage. You should know inside. And in any intersexual relationships, other than marriage, ukiona mahali mwanaume unakaa hapo, mdema na kuitisha pesa, and you're giving that money, bro, you are negotiating desire. Uyo si wa kuoa. Any lady who is demanding money from you, whether for upkeep, for nails, for whatever, that is nonsense. Wachana na yeye. Peana because it's your choice, but not because the lady has demanded it. We are very desperate for sex as men. But build your capacity to not be a slave to sex. Be able to stay months ngumu. Tembea miguu chuma, oga maji baridi, kaa hivyo, kaa kimwanaume. And that is how you build your capacity to change the society and perpetuate your seed into the future. That's it.
Napenda hiyo. At some point, maybe, if you may allow me,
very
please.
much. Let me, thank you very much.
Allow me to tell this, yeah. Unaona katika ndoa, hiyo ndoa tunaiongelelea ni kwamba, in short, it's not for, amesema it's not for men ama women peke yake. But ukikuja kwa ndoa, usikuje na mentality ya 50-50.
Yes.
Kuja na mentality ya 100%. You give 100%. In such a way that wakati yule mume hayuko, wewe kama mwanamke you can stand firm na familia yako. Yes. Na you provide without any assumption. Mwanaume pia the same way. Ndio tusikuje tukapata kwamba unajua tukikaa mahali kwamba like maybe you have a family, uko na watoto wawili, unawapea majukumu but hujakuwa specific. Ile majukumu be rest sure that hayatafanyika. Like umetoka unasema nikuje vyombo zimeoshwa. Mmoja atakuwa ana-assume ule mwenzake amefanya na ule mwingine ata-assume mwingine amefanya. But ukisema ukiambia ni James wewe nikija umechota maji, Grace wewe umeosha vyombo, you will come back and find that ile kitu imefanyika. Na kwa ndoa sasa inafai kuwe unakuwa una provide, you come fully. Kuna watu wanakuja kwa ndoa with mentality ya kwamba what can I get from the marriage? Ni nini nitatoka nayo pale? Na kuna watu wanakuja na perspective ya kwamba what can I give? What can I offer?
Okay.
So these two marriages utapata the end result haitakuwa the same. Kwa sababu somebody anafikiria atatoka na nini, mwingine anafikiria ataleta nini. Mwenye kuleta nini, you are growing together. Kwa sababu mwanamke ndiye ako na akili, amepewa na Mungu uwezo wa kumultiply. Bwana, mimi naenda nikitafuta nje, nilete kwa family, then the wife ananisaidia kumultiply. Kama nimenunua kuku moja na bibi ana ile uwezo wa kumultiply, sababu ashakuwa na mindset kwamba hapa nimepafanya, it's my home. Asha create ile nini ya kwamba hapa niko nyumbani, ata multiply wale kuku, ukienda supermarket utapata kuna something more.
Kuna more and more.
Yes.
and
Siku hizi
more.
watakula bwana, achana na hiyo story.
Ukiacha mtu
Watakula mpaka manyoya.
Let me add
ukipata mtu
something.
akusema eti nitachukua nini ndio pale, most marriages na head kwa divorce kwa sababu mtu asha calculate naenda kwa kajembe, amejitengeza kimaisha, akona gari, akona manyumba, akona shamba, akona nini. So anaenda, atakuja, package vile amekuja, utamtrust, at the end of the day mtadivorce na anataka nini, na mwisho wa siku anataka like separate, na yeye achukue ametagi fulani, ataondoka na if you have that mentality ya what can I take from marriage, then pause, think about it, reflect and make the right decision.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very true. Very wise words. But only
Thank you.
I need something. There's something I need to add. When you
Yes.
Kajembe said something about when you're angry with each other, trusting that you're not going to harm me. But I think mostly in marriages and in relationships, what matters, it's not how you treat each other when you're happy, but how you treat each other when you're actually mad with each other. There it's where the wisdom is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wajinga.
Actually, Wajinga, see wisdom. All right, viewers, tell us in the comment section, is marriage a risk you're willing to take?
Good.
Give your thoughts in the comment section. So you can follow us, just in case you're new here, follow us on all our social media platforms at The Love Corner Show, and subscribe to this channel. Like this episode and share with your friends. You can follow me on social media at Janet Kaluki on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok at J Kaluki, and follow my co-hosts Lydia Furaha at Furaha L Hesketh. And that's it for now. See you on the next one.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Bye.